Hello and welcome to Ask Ardyce, the podcast. This is the podcast where you get to ask my wise grandma any question you want about anything at all, and she will give you her awesome answers. And joining me here today, as always, is the woman herself. Would you like to say hello to everyone, Grandma?
Hi, everybody. I sure hope you've had a good day.
Okay, so we're going to dive right into our questions. This episode, I think we will call the roommate episode because the questions left over are from old roommates from my place, ones you haven't heard from yet, Grandma. So you'll hear some familiar names here. So the first three questions are from Spencer Chasen. So first question, what are your favorite ways to show someone you love them?
What are my favorite ways to show people? Kind words and hugs.
Absolutely. First of all, Grandma gives the best hugs in the world. And second, she always knows the thing to say that you need to hear and knows how to warm you from the inside out. When you talk about saying kind words to people you love, what are some examples of things that you can say to people to kind of lift their spirits? Some people aren't as good with words as you, so I wonder if you could give us some examples of things that could kind of lift somebody up.
Well, I think if somebody has done something that you are proud of or that you think is a wonderful accomplishment, make sure you tell them that wow, I'm really proud of you for doing X, Y, Z. Even just things like, oh, you ever look beautiful today? I mean, those are all things that just touch people. When somebody does something kind for you, make sure you let them know how much you appreciated that kindness.
Absolutely, Grandma. Those are great examples. Okay, so question number 2. How do you think the world has changed for the better? And what are you most optimistic about?
Spencer, I'm hoping that maybe this will shake us up enough that we will look at global warming and all the other things we need to think about before we totally destroy our planet.
That's a positive change, Grandma, that people are going to have to pay more attention to all this now that we've had time to kind of slow down and look at the world. That could absolutely be a positive change.
Let's hope so.
And what are you most optimistic about?
You know, getting through this virus, I'm so proud of 80% of our Canadians, the way they are, doing the things they're supposed to do to try and keep us safe. And I'm really feeling optimistic that we're going to get through this. We're going to come out the other side, and it's going to be a good thing when we come out the other side.
Yeah, great answer, Grandma. And then moving on to the third question, what makes strong and lasting bonds in a community or family? How do we achieve that?
Spencer, I know I have been neglectful in keeping my friends close enough to be a good community. Mm-hmm. My family is a wonderful example of just caring about each other on a regular basis, on a daily basis, never going away from that. I live in a seniors lodge, as I'm sure you know, and I'm finding, I'll tell you how difficult it is with this outbreak. We're still a community. We're still a family. And it's been really wonderful to see everybody caring about everybody else and still keeping our distances and doing all the things we're supposed to do. Does it just happen? No, it doesn't just happen. It's just life. If things can connect, then that's when you're going to have all of the wonderful experiences and communities that stick together.
Yeah, and when you're talking about it just happening, Grandma, I think maybe what you're talking about is over time you just share experiences and share time together, and eventually you'll kind of connect as time goes on that way, hey?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, so it's not automatic. You have to put some effort into it, but certainly just time passing together and more moments happening together kind of bring you together.
Correct.
Awesome. So, last question is from Justin Hakimi. He says, very personally relevant question here. I just relocated to a new city. And he was telling me that it's LA, actually.
LA?
Yeah, he's in LA now. Big, important dude. So what are some good ways to meet new people and develop new friendships in a new environment once quarantine is lifted. So he's talking about life, quote unquote, as usual. So once quarantine is lifted, how do you develop new friendships in a new town?
Ooh, this is a tough one. If you have a church, that's certainly a really safe way to meet new people. And I think online is probably how you're going to have to meet some of the people that you want to get together with. I don't know if you play sports. That's a good way to reach out to people who play sports, reach out to people who play cards. Whatever your interests are, Google it and find out where you can go and do these things. And I'm sure you'll make some really wonderful new friends that way.
I think that's great advice, Grandma, and a good connection to kind of the old way of doing things, which was, go to church, go to the communities that exist there, to nowadays, whether it's a religious community, whether it's a sports community, whatever it is, just find the people who like and believe the same things you do. So
exactly, yeah.
Cool. All right, Grandma. Well, you nailed all those questions. That brings us to the end of this week's Ask Ardyce podcast. Is there anything you'd like to tell the listeners? Any messages of hope or messages of solidarity or just something you think they need to hear at all?
Hang in there, everybody. We're going to get through this, and I'm just going to send out real strong love vibes to all of you.
And those are some powerful love vibes. You will receive them. So that was Ask Ardyce. I hope you got as much out of that as I always do. If you have any other questions, feel free to post them on Facebook, and I'll nag Grandma with some more questions soon.